Welcome to another edition of Misery Zone. My name's Kurt Burdick, so far. And today I'm going to be looking at a excellent manga that really surprised me and I found very, very, very interesting called Homunculus. And it's by Hideo Yamamoto, the same mangaka who created Ichi the Killer, which after reading this, it does make me want to read the manga. I have seen the Takeshi Miike movie and found that really fascinating. I'm a big fan of that director. Now I'm a big fan of Yamamoto, Senior Yamamoto, as I think they say in Japan. And I found this a very fascinating book, and it is great fiction. And if it was in prose, I feel like it would, you know, it would be accepted in high society as a great work of fiction. And maybe it is, I don't know, like in manga, I don't know. It doesn't seem that manga overall is seen in high regard by the, high art society, whatever the fuck that is. Like museums and shit. Like Chris Ware and Daniel Clowes, they seem to get like literary respect. And I think this book also should receive that level of yoink, of respect. It is a very complex and interesting. I'll just say call it a novel. I mean, it is a manga. It's a manga, but it has the same depth and breadth that any respectable prose written novel would have. I don't know. Does that make me? That sounds kind of stupid to say now that I verbalized it, but I I think you probably understand what I mean. Um, yeah, and also really touching on the same topics as the film the Substance that was directed by, or not directed by, it was starring Demi Moore. I forgot the name of the director. Shit. 1 second. Stop the recording. Shit. Fuck. The Substance. God damn it. Yes. Okay. Coralie Farget was born the 24th of November 1976 in Paris, France. Very classy person. But yeah, no, she did a great job. The movie, the Substance is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, it very much worth the watch, and a very interesting analysis of pop culture and beauty, and also I felt the plastic surgery industry. I felt it was like a kind of a fable about plastic surgery and the addiction body modification can develop, like an addiction to that, it's seeking perfection. And usually, when one does that, either there are consequences. It's kind of like the Michael Jackson story told as a fairy tale. That's kind of how I saw the Substance. And also, I did feel like it was the greatest trauma movie ever made. It was the best Lloyd Kaufman film ever brought to execution. I don't know if the director is familiar with the works of Lloyd Kaufman, but I just found a lot of similarities in the satire of modern culture in that film. Also, I really do want a a drag musical of The Substance. There's a drag queen in SF that did a called Peaches Christ, who did a wonderful musical interpretation of Showgirls, which you can find the soundtrack on YouTube, and it is just wonderful. It's fantastic. And I would love it to see her do the same thing with The Substance. And I think that will be The Substance ultimate form. The final form of The Substance is indeed a musical, a wonderful drag musical. And one day I suspect that will happen. But I'm talking about Homunculus. And this, oddly enough, tackles a lot of the same issues of beauty, perception, plastic surgery, and a critique on, in this case, Japanese society. And yeah, it's a very, very well written and very complex novel. I did have problems with this the omnibus of 3 and 4. This one was very triggering for me, actually. Usually don't use that terminology, but there is very challenging subject matter in this, and particularly in this volume. So if I guess it's just a warning. There is the issues that I felt were, God, how do I, like, it felt like this was depicting a sexual assault that wasn't depicted as a sexual assault. And so this one's challenging. I definitely give a trigger warning to this one. And I guess this entire series. But that said, and I almost stopped reading it after that issue, but I kept with it, and it became a deeper analysis of the culture of beauty and ugliness. So, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say some type of weird terminology, and so am I not supposed to say sexual assault on YouTube? Am I supposed to say SA or something? Well, we'll find out. I mean, I'm not, I don't get any money from this shit, so who cares? But yeah, so that is a warning. If if that is an extremely triggering topic, avoid this book. So other than that, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at Homunculus. So it starts off with a man basically living in his car. Let me see, make sure I got it on the right. So, and he's like sucking his thumb. This one I was thinking I should do an animatic of, but I just don't have the time. Oh, what am I doing? Fuck this. I gotta talk about my goddamn fucking Kickstarter. It's still going on. So this is the book. Boom, boom, boom. Look how much bigger it is. Wow, don't look at the girth. Homunculus is much more girthy. But the length and width, in that dimension is very, superior. My book is superior in that sense. So yeah, this Kickstarter is still going on. It's going good so far. I'm recording this a little bit earlier than it's airing, but yeah, so far so good. I want to thank all the backers to it, and there's a link below to if you are interested in checking it out in the description of this video. Okay, let's look at this. Very interesting. And this is an interesting juxtaposition of saying where this, kind of representing where this person's at in his life. This character, which is, I think his name, I forgot his name, Nakoshi, is living in his car between this high society hotel that the wealthy stay at and dine at, and a park where homeless people live, and he lives in between those two realities. He's brushing his teeth. Hey ya. Good morning, Ken-san. Mighty cold, eh? That's December for you, I suppose. I tell you what, car guy, I could never sleep in a teeny little box like that every dang night. Ain't it about time to set up a tent or something? It's nice of you to worry. But you'd be surprised, that car is actually pretty cozy. So this car is his whole world. And he goes, little dog, knock it off, Kuro. You leave them washings alone. I just finished those. Kuro, give it back, you little shit. And these two panels show the perception that this character wants society to perceive him as, even when dealing with other homeless, residents, and his actual character, the struggle and the depression that he's actually dealing with. So this is a very good juxtaposition. It's very subtle, very simple, but this story is going to deal quite a bit with this dichotomy between perception and internal experience. So let's keep going. So the rest of these sequences, it introduces the other characters, other people who are also homeless. He has an ability with his car to turn it on and listen to it. And just by listening to it, he's able to figure out what is happening in the motor and how to fix it. And this is also setting up what the story is going to be about, because eventually he's going to be doing the same thing with people that he runs across. Here's another important character, another homeless person. I don't get why he throws this rock at this crow. And this guy seems to be fine with it. There must be some symbology there, but it was beyond me. And again, one interesting thing with manga is it reads much faster than Western comics. It is much more cinematic, not much narration. Hardly any narration, like narration boxes used. The only manga that I've read that heavily uses narration boxes is Lone Wolf and Cub, but that is to explain, that is for world building purposes, which is one of the reasons that book is so fascinating to me. And it has a bunch of indexes in that book too, which is also really helps with world building. Okay, so let's see, I'll start reading it from here, or maybe here. Okay, I'll just read this whole fucking page. I'll start from here. Anyone who has to open the engine compartment to figure out what's wrong is an amateur. So he's talking about how he fixes his cars. And this guy's like, huh? My buddy said the same thing. The car's mood is harder to figure out than a woman's, he'd say. Sounds about right. If you think of a machine as just a machine, you're making a big mistake. Nice drawing of the car. And the car is a character just as much as he is a character in the story, which is also always cool. I always like that trope. After all, we humans can be even more mechanical than machines these days. Another foreshadowing moment. So here is very important. This is what kind of where the story starts getting set up. There's somebody recording him. And you get to see his eye. It's recording him. So, the story goes on, introducing Moore, going through his day. Let's go to this page. He's looking at this gentleman going to the hotel with his date. And then he's like looking at the hotel. Everybody looking down on me with those judging eyes makes me sick. Turns on his car. Poop, 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 poop. That's how cars sound in Japan. Poop, 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 poop. Oh, shit. Empty. The gas tank. He's checking his, uh-oh. Hardly anything. I finally run out of cash, huh? Oh, shit. I can handle a few days with an empty belly, but without driving, I'm screwed. Ain't gonna be able to run no more. And then that's when... Open up, please. Don't worry, I'm not shady or anything. Yeah. Really nice lighting here. Using, like, scraping off, I assume, with a razor blade. Unless they're doing this digitally. They might be doing the zips digitally. They probably are. But it still looks really cool. Really cool lighting. Boop, boop, boop. And this is, oh god, what's this guy's name? I forgot. We'll find out. But he is a very important character in this story. I know you. You were sulking around the park earlier. So he actually noticed him when he was recording him. Oops, caught me, did you? What do you want? Listen, you're homeless, right? Really nice expression. Really nice silent panel. I know, homeless encapsulates a variety of experiences, but let's keep it simple, shall we? I'd be willing to bet you have no house, no job, and of course, no cash. Really good expression, good lighting. Sorry, I've always been kind of blunt. I apologize if I've offended. Let's get straight to the point. There's a certain job I'd like you to do for me. That's always a good thing to hear, right? Okay, let's see. For 700,000 yen. Slap. He slaps a piece of paper. All you have to do is take part of a simple experiment. And voila. Whoa, hang on. Let's see what he's looking at. Trepanation, the act of drilling a hole into the skull. See? All I want to do is open up a teensy little hole in your head. I really love the rendering here on that face and the highlight there. Very beautiful. Jesus. And how this is all gray toned and then this is all in white. Really nice ear drawing too in the hair. Go home. No, come on. I know, hole in the head sounds super bad, but I swear it's not that big a deal. For real. It's not like I'll be touching your actual brain, and I won't hurt the membrane that surrounds the brain either. It won't start leaking out of your head or anything. All I'll do is take out a tiny piece of bone, and he hits his teeth. It's no different from shaving down your teeth. I like this little, the way these lips are drawn. Please just give the article a thorough read. This guy. Obviously, I'll have to go through the skin to get to the bone, so a little blood is inevitable. But your life won't be in any danger. And you'll be so anesthetized, you won't even feel it. The procedure is called trepanation. So the rest of this story is about the trepanation. Plenty of people have done it overseas. They're talking about in Europe and the United States, and they're talking about it in the 1970s, which is true. People did do this in the 1970s, because it was the 70s. Okay, it's perfectly safe. Nice silent panel again. Look, man. What's there to gain from a crazy experiment like this? Great question. The best question, in fact. You'd gain a sixth sense. Really beautiful drawing. Love that highlight, the way that's illustrated there. The fuck? Put simply, you might see ghosts. Manifest telepathic powers. That like things like that. What's your deal? Is this a cult thing? No. It's nothing like that. And I'm being totally serious. I swear, nobody has ever tried trepanation here in Japan yet. That's why I have to try it. To see it with my own eyes. Because this story is so much about perception and people's perception of societies, I noticed that the mangaka is drawing. He always returns to close-ups of the eyes. That is a central, a visual theme throughout this book, which is really interesting. Fine. Then let's open a hole in your skull. Give me $350,000 and I'll even help you with the surgery. I don't want to. Why not? Nothing beats first-hand experience, right? Yeah, but it's like scary. Find somebody else. Place like this, I'm sure there are loads of guys desperate enough to be your guinea pig for quick cash. No. It has to be you. You're the only guy for the job. Why's that? Look around. On one side, a hobo camp. Really nice drawing of a camp. Probably traced, but still really nice. On the other, a lavish hotel full of people with their shit together. Guy like you, perfectly sandwiched between the two? Why, you're just perfect. Really nice illustration showing the two. The setting. Nice zoom in. Sorry, but I'm not participating in your weird little hobby. I'm not even homeless. I felt like roughing it for the experience, so I took some vacation days. A little soul searching, as they say. Find somebody else. That's a really nice drawn eye. I'd love to see the original pages if it's done with the if it's not done digitally. I think this is done on paper. The zip might be digital, but everything else is, I think, traditional. The left side of your mouth goes up when you lie, you know? He's surprised by that. What a shame. In here I thought I found the perfect specimen. Walks away. Really beautiful drawing. I love this. Love that. It's really nice. The mist. Good, great expression. This book has great sequential acting. So from that experience, he goes about his day. Keeps going. Keeps talking to his buddies. He finds out his car got towed. So the place he was living got towed. You know, his whole reality just got towed, and he doesn't have the money to bring it out of the lot. So this just causes him to panic. And, you know, a little bit extreme with the sweating, but it does, like, really help illustrate, you know, his anxiety about, like, being stuck without a home or an escape, really, because at this point in the story he's looking for escape from who he was or who he is, and he's really, really panicking. And then he overhears, he's like looking through someone else's tent, he overhears this guy, which we'll find out his name later on the pages. I forgot exactly what it was. And he hears him pitching the same thing to another person. So let's read it from here. It's actually very simple and completely safe. Really nice, iconic design for this character. And he's at his wit's end. Nikoshi's at his wit's end. Oh, hey there. Sup? Are you alright? You were so soaked as a newborn back there. He's still sweating. Why don't we rest in the hotel for a while? Maybe grab a bite to eat while we're there. Ain't got any money, you know. Leave that to me. They go in. Oh, Nakoshi-sama. Huh? He's surprised. It's been a long time since we've seen you. Please come right in. Been a while. So these people are familiar with Nakoshi. They go up. Basically, he accepts to do the deal for the money. And he says, I'm in. And at this point, he gives some background. This is his name. Edo. Manabu Edo. Manabu Edo. Edo Manabu. And he is a surgeon student, a doc, you know, studying to be a surgeon and a doctor. So that is one of the reasons he is interested in doing the trepanation, because he wants to learn about human beings. That's his focus. He wants to understand and learn and do experiments on human beings so he can fully understand them. So, and he gives his full name, which is Nakoshi Sumu. He's 34 years old. And the next is just going through. And they always go back to, like, this. They show him multiple times in this story of him sleeping in a fetal position, which is interesting. And it's going back to that, you know, that fetal image in the beginning too, which might be stating that he's in an incubated state before, you know, being rebirthed, I guess. Now, let's see. So this is his setup. Boop, boop, boop. So very Dexter-esque. You go into a room. That'd be awesome. You go into someone's house and they just have this set up. Oh yeah, it's nothing. It's just want to play some PS5, you know? You know, you just play video games while this is in the back. I probably wouldn't. I'd be fine with it. Do you have chips? Yeah, I'd just eat some chips and salsa. Really cool illustration. Make sure it's on. And it goes through showing like medieval images of trepanation that was done for like relieving pressure on the brain after like a concussive injury to relieve swelling. That's generally what trepanation is medically used for. Zip, 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 zip. Okay, so really, really cool foot drawing and hand drawing here. Really feels like, and that's just such a cool page. And then following up with that close up. Now this is a real image. I remember seeing it back in the 90s when I somehow I stumbled upon trepanation. Obviously, I didn't do it. Probably would. I don't know. But whatever. Maybe I'll try it in the future, if and see ghosts. So he's doing this, saying like you're gonna get a sixth sense. So after doing it, they go to a haunted tunnel and to see if he actually picks up on anything. These are some old photos of when Hideo was in a punk band. So he's like kind of spying on Hideo, like getting some background information. That's Hideo father. This is some information on some real trepanation that did happen in Cook County, Chicago. And talking about that. And then as he's like looking through everything, you notice he's actually being recorded because Hideo is a fucking creeper, obviously. So he gets his car back, he gets the money, he gets his car back, so he's, happy again, or at least stable again. So this is when they go to that haunted tunnel, and he doesn't really feel anything. And the next, so nothing to note yet in this story. And we go to another place where a murder happened, and he's not picking up on anything. They do that psychic test from Ghostbusters. And I think in this story he does a pretty good job in picking out the cards. So that's interesting. And then I'll start reading from here. Okay, stare. Quit eyeing me like that. Fine, it doesn't matter. We'll do a more thorough test tomorrow. So he's done with the testing today. You need to do this kind of thing at least 4 times. You have to determine a mean if you want accurate data. So don't get too full of yourself, okay? So he did well on the test, but Ido's saying, you might have gotten lucky. So he smiles. Because he knows he's a badass. No, I don't know. He just smiles. That's an interesting little trope, like a subtle smile, and it just says smile. That's interesting. I see. 4 out of 5 must be a good score then, huh? Oh, he smiles to himself. And then goes, so he got 4 out of 5 and matching the Ghostbuster cards. And he recognizes that he did a good job. I suppose it's passable. And like, hold on to this for the duration of the experiment. I wrote my number on the back, so he gives him a flip phone. If anything happens, give me a call. Anyway, good day, good job today. I'll come by and by the park just before noon tomorrow to pick you up. Okay. And he walks off. He gets a soda, probably a coffee, canned coffee. Whew. Nice little illustration of, like, you know, that cold breath coming out. Interesting. These feel traced. This totally feels traced, but just totally works. Really beautiful. He's walking. He looks down this alleyway. He gets another gust of wind. Ugh, Jesus, my eye. And he rubs his right eye, blocking it. And while his right eye is blocked, he looks up. What the fuck? Huh? And he removes his eye. He sees a full head. It's like, what the fuck? He sees this tubby guy, covers his eye. Okay, what does he see? What does he see? What? What? Really good intensity here with the face. What the hell? Beautiful image, and that's why it's the cover. And really sets up. And then he sees these like yokai images of monsters. Really, really cool. And really cool intensity. Like that pixelated zoom in. Dun 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 boom 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 boom. Twitch twitch twitch. Don't fish head. Fish heads. Don't. Excuse me. Stop freaking staring at me. Don't. Sorry, ma'am. Weirdo. Don't. Hello, who's this? She looks normal. Oh, Takashi-san. You know, I was literally just about to call you. Then she sees her waist. No, never mind. Don't. And her waist starts spinning. And she's like cut into sections. And then he like spills his coffee on somebody. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a Gundam. Crap. Really beautiful illustration of a hand like lifting up this guy, and this guy is some Yakuza badass. You just ruined our boss's suit, you piece of shit. What's your problem? Don't. Whew. Off the ground, feet off the ground. Look at that. Tough guy. Golgo 13 shit. I'm so sorry. They ain't gonna cut it, dickwad. We ain't letting you off that easy. Hey, you listen, punk. Did that little bitch just wink? Oh, because he closed his left eye so he could look. Duh. And I love this drawing. This guy seems so tough, and he's like lifting this guy up. Hoist! Feet off the ground. Dun, 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 dun. Dun. You think this is funny, wise guy? No, that's not what I... And he sees his robot fist when he closes his eye. So he's seeing this Yakuza as a robot, but he's also seeing the one part of the robot that is human is his pinky. Bum. Your pinky, and he touches it. And I'm going to stop there. And yeah, so that is Homunculus. I do highly recommend it. It's very, very good. I'm going to show one other scene because I just thought it was so excellently crafted and executed. But at this point, I am getting into spoilers for the story. I mean, I probably already have to a certain extent. But this is volumes 7 and 8. So there are 10 volumes and 5 omnibuses. And the people making this is Seven Seas Entertainment. They seem to be doing a bunch of light novels, which I've never read. I'm not 100% sure what the fuck a light novel is. Is it just pulp with illustrations? I don't know, but it seems people like them. So, but I'm probably not gonna read them unless there's one that I get hear about. So, anyways. At this point, you can skip if you don't want any spoilers, but I just need to show this sequence because I just think it's really what elevated the story to like high art to me. But anyways, so basically, he gets used to seeing what they call homunculi, and it's described why they're called homunculi. In this story, it has to do with how the brain patterns senses, and he wants to drill another hole in his head, but Ito doesn't want to do it because he thinks it would be too dangerous to do it. But he at this point has become addicted to that sensation of seeing homunculi and seeing kind of the soul of people is how he's interpreting it. So this is the trepanation kit that Ito uses, and Nikoshi steals it because he refused to do another trepanation procedure. Skip that. So he gets worried about him injuring himself, and he basically says that he's not gonna do it. He just wants to study some of the material. And Ito agrees to let him have it for a day. And of course, Nikoshi is lying. So let's start from here. Let's just look at these pages. And it's raining. And again, he's in his car between the hobo tents and the hotel. Okay, making the same hole bigger, is that risky? So if you want to go the safe route, you should make more holes. I hadn't thought about the number of holes. So the initial hole that Ito made was smaller than the recommended size of trepanation from the material from the 70s. So he wants to either make a larger hole or multiple holes. Because at this point he can no longer see the homunculi images when he covers his right eye. This is interesting. That is so creepy. Whoosh. Dum, dum. He grabs it out. And this use of whatever zipatone is perfect for this image. It really makes it feel like a giallo Italian film. He brings it up. It's raining. Look at that image. So intense. Clouds. Really excellently illustrated image. Just raining. He's walking. Going to a public restroom. Occupied. He locks it. So he's going to do surgery in a public restroom. He sets up a hose. He starts washing it down. He's whistling. Putting up the notes. I always have a hard time drawing these down angles. And it would be cool to see the reference photos that he used to get that. Puts up all the images. I love this image. This is like from a real photograph, actually. From someone who did trepanation. Just had these crazy eyes. And the way he draws the eyes there is real psycho. And with mixed with the lighting, fantastic. So cuts his hair, gets his Bic marker, touches his finger to the X-Acto. Ouch! Jeez. Glad I grabbed this stuff too, so he got some of the anesthetic. Great illustration. Look at that hand. Great expression. Prick. Drops it. All right. The anesthetic's kicking in. Bring that knife up. His hands shaking. Hands shaking. Oh, God. That does actually gross me out. Ugh, jeez. Ugh. Excellent drawing. He opens it. He splays it open. Gets the drill out. This is 7mm, huh? It's freaking huge. So he's going to make a 7mm hole. Like scared. Suppose this thing made so it'll automatically stop before it hits the cerebral membrane. Hear that? You're only drilling through the bone, buddy. Because if you go any further, if you break through that membrane, that's the end for me, understand? Don't let me down, pal. There's great intensity in the fear on his face. Getting ready. What an image. Alright, let's see. I think I'm going to do one more. Again, excellent image. Just very intense. What the hell am I doing? Well, if I screw up and die naked in a public bathroom, at least the Grim Reaper will have a good laugh. Click. Alright, I'll leave it there. This sequence goes on for, a number more pages. Very, very excellent sequence. So, excellent book. Really highly recommend it. And again, if you enjoyed the substance, you will enjoy this. It tackles the same topics, obviously from a different perspective and from a different culture than Western culture. But really, it's a good companion piece. Again, definitely also, if sexual violence is a triggering thing for you, I'd avoid this book. That said, it is still a great work of fiction. So, highly recommend it. And I got these over at the library. So, I'm very lucky to have a library that has such great works. Other than that, I have Death Powers 6 available on my Kickstarter. The link is listed below. And I think my catchphrase will be stay frosty. Yeah. Or, how's this book end? Let me read the last page. What's the last word in where is it? Where the fuck is it? Yeah. What does it say? Maybe this will be my catchphrase. It says, "Hey, I know you guys." All right. Hey, I know you guys.